I didn't know how weird it was to tell people I was from Florida till I moved. We got a reputation, y'all. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a weird place. Like, let's be honest. Florida's like the Kanye of the 50 states. Like, let's be honest, you know? It's like when I was young, I loved it. But the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't know if I can defend everything it's doing. You feel where I'm coming from? Florida and Kanye just have so many similarities when it comes to like how hard they are to root for. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah, they're both creative. They both love women with big booties, but they both tried to make the Confederate flag cool. It's like, I don't know, mistakes were made. It's a tough thing to defend. That's all I'm getting at. I still get defensive for Florida. When I'm on the road, I actually do. I get defensive all the time. I just don't like it when people try to make it sound like all the crazy shit in the country only happens here. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. Let's stop acting like you haven't been in your hometown and you were walking down the street and you saw some dude that made you go, oh, Jesus Christ, avoid that fucking guy. Oh my God. Was his dick sticking out his back pocket? Jesus, you saw that, right? It's just crazy to me. And then people try to cite Florida man stories as if that's the end all be all. Get the fuck out of here. They're like, well, what about Florida man? I hate that they say it as if all the other people in Florida aren't reading it thinking the exact same shit as them. It's like, well, what about Florida man? It's like, what about that nigga? He's crazy. Well, what about Florida man? He's out of his mind. I agree with you. It's so weird that they bring that up, you know what I mean? Because what's the easiest way to explain this? It's just, with Florida man stories, they don't make sense to me because they make it sound like what do they think we're thinking as we read it? Like, we're not relating. Like, none of us are reading the Florida man story, all these crimes, and going, nice, he finally did it. Oh, shit. All right, yeah. Dude, follow your dreams, baby. Jerry always said he wanted to throw an alligator through a drive-through window. And they told him he couldn't do it, but he persevered. So ridiculous, man. And then you'll hear people say like these dumb arguments. They'll be like, well, if our states are so crazy, why don't we hear as much about us? I asked the prosecutor. I'll tell you why. Did you know that everything that goes to court in this country is public record? Anything that goes to court, you can look it up if you know how. But, and this is what I didn't know, every state uses a different site. And it just so happens, according to this prosecutor, Florida has one of the easiest sites to search public records for, even if you have no experience looking up public records. So, you could do like a keyword search. You could go, meth, eat, face. A case in Florida is gonna show up. But you could do that exact same search in another state. The case exists and it doesn't show up unless you know how to pry deeper to make it come out. Do you understand what I'm saying? The other states aren't less crazy. They're just better at keeping secrets. That's all it is. They're Bruce Jenner. We're Caitlyn. That's it. That's literally all we're talking about here. And I just don't like when they try to make it sound like it's only here. Have you read your news? I have. I've checked your sites and you've got some shit going down. Have you seen this guy in Colorado who he tricked out his bulldozer into a tank and he drove it through the houses and the businesses of everyone he thought wouldn't support his muffler store? You don't want to talk about Colorado, man? You see this guy in Massachusetts literally living in the walls of somebody else's house, would only come out at night to pretend to be the ghost of the dead mother of the 2 little girls that live there. We don't want to shout out like Massachusetts guy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're from another state, you're a bad person, but stop acting like it only happens in Florida. People are fucking dogs where you live too. I'll give you a story. A long time ago. This is years ago when I lived in Tampa. I remember I went to a mall with my girlfriend at the time, right? My girlfriend was white. And she was my girlfriend, is still white, to be clear. It sounded weird in my head. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure she's still doing the white thing. So we're at the mall, right? I remember she saw something in a display case that she wanted to check out. She goes to check it out. I don't go with her, right? I kind of just hang back. I just do like a general scan of the room. I'm just checking out where I'm at. You ever just look at, I don't know, what's the best way to describe it? You ever just like look around in the room you're hanging out with? You're just checking it out. You ever accidentally make eye contact with a stranger? Like you ever hold each other hostage? You know what I mean? When you're just like, why won't we look away? What are our motives? You know, you're just caught in that moment. I lock eyes with this black dude, and the only way I can think to describe him is too excited to see me. That's the only way I can think. It's because what he did. This is what he did, right? We lock eyes, and as soon as we lock eyes, he goes, what the fuck is that? The fuck is that gesture? Who do you do that? Not a stranger. You don't do that to a stranger. Who was that for? Like, you know what you did? You do that when you catch Michelle Obama at the strip club. You're like, Michelle! You feel me? But not to me, random black man across the way. But that's what he did. And I just go like, okay, all right, you won that contest. I'm not gonna really be staring at you any longer. And I wait a couple seconds. I peek out the side of my eye and I'm like, oh shit, he's coming. All right, this dude is coming to me. He walks up to me. This dude said one of the most confusing things I've ever heard in my life. To this day, I'm so curious to see what you think of this. This guy walks up to me, I swear to God, so confident. He goes, hey brother, I ain't trying to start nothing, but you know when we see you out here having social intercourse with all these other races, you look racist. And I went, social intercourse? Have y'all ever heard that term? I had never heard social intercourse? That's an aggressive way to say hanging with friends, isn't it? I didn't know hanging with buddies could sound so sexual. I didn't know I was such a heartthrob in the social community. Yeah. Like apparently, like I lost my sexual virginity when I was 17, but I busted my first social nut when I was like 4. I had no idea there was such a difference. So I go, social intercourse? That's a weird word, man. He goes, call it what you want. What you're doing is racist. And I go, racist? And he goes, yeah. And I go, let me get this straight. It's racist for me to be out in public with somebody of another race. And he goes, mm-hmm. And I went, you're gonna have to give me a sec, man. I've never heard somebody be this wrong before. It was like 2012. I'm like, who hasn't seen Remember the Titans by now, my guy? Like, how are we struggling with this? But he doubles down. This is why I never forgot it. He goes, no, what you need to understand is when we see you walking in public with somebody of another race, it looks like you're embarrassed to be black. And I was like, what kind of mindfuck is this, my guy? Did that make sense to any of y'all? Okay, because it damn sure didn't make sense to me. I'm gonna talk about it. I just wanna make sure we're on the same page before I get fought. Let me say a couple things. Nobody of another race has the power to make you feel embarrassed of your own race. Let me make that very clear. You feel about you the way that you feel about you. You know what's wild though? You know who does have the power to make you feel embarrassed of your own race? People in your own race. Isn't it wild how accurate that is? We've all got representatives that made us go, no the fuck you don't speak for me. Get the fuck out of here with that. What? We've all got those. You ever heard Kanye? Are you always relating? Or you're like, what the fuck he just say? Remember when he said slavery was a choice? Do you remember how many black people came to his rescue? Me neither. That's my point, dude. We cut that nigga off like Subway did Jared. But you do remember how we handled it? We were like, he did what? And there's proof? Oh, no. The actions of this individual do not reflect. Dude, we cut him right out. Can I give you an example for white people? I can't speak for you. I'm just throwing it out there. I think this is a great one. Let's see how you do. Remember when George W. Bush was president? Remember that? Remember when he did that interview? He said this verbatim. He goes, fool me once. Shame on. Shame on you. Fool me. Can't get fooled again. That's a direct quote. That's a direct quote. I had to Google that to make sure I got it right how wrong he said it.